This is Mike Maghari, direct from Dumaguete City, for our special presentation, friends and supporters of presidential aspirant Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. Good day, everyone. Welcome to Transparency TV. So broadcast time, we have, of course, a very important topic. Friends and supporters of presidential Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. We are here in Dumaguete City, capital city of Negros Oriental. For the benefit of our viewers, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, this is being aired every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. For our viewers, I would like to introduce to you one by one our honored guests, our resource persons. Number one is Professor Joshua Ablong. He is a lawyer and Human Resource Officer of Silliman University. Lawyer Joshua, can I ask you a few words of greetings?
Good day to our viewers. Thank you for taking the time to tune in and listen to this talk show. We are here because we believe in our presidential, Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. We believe that he can bring about serious change in government that would be responsive to the needs of our people. And so with me right now, of course, are fellow supporters from Dumaguete, and I hope that you will find this session, this talk show, very enriching and very enlightening insofar as our candidate is concerned.
Okay, thank you so much.
As Sir introduced me, I'm Assistant Professor Credo. I'm a teacher here at Silliman University. I'm teaching political science, and I am a volunteer of the support group for Senator Ping Lacson's presidential bid in the upcoming 2022 elections.
Daghang salamat. Maayong aga sa mga listener and viewers. Maayong buntag from Dumaguete City. Ako si Ray Jimena. I am a convinced, a believer, and a volunteer for our soon-to-be President Ping Lacson.
Very good morning, everyone. Maayong buntag, maupay na aga. As mentioned by Mike, I am here as a living testimony to share with you our real-life experience, our real-life testimony about our President Panfilo Ping Lacson. So abangan niyo po anong isi-share ko mamaya, kung ano po yung actual experience ng aming pamilya at bakit naniniwala po kami at bakit sumusuporta po kami at bakit nasa likod po kami ni Ping Lacson all the way. Salamat.
Everyone, I'm Roland Lau, only to facilitate them for the operations, and then a volunteer also.
Good morning, everyone. I'm G. Arieta. I'm a supporter and volunteer for the presidency of Senator Ping Lacson.
Our live program is being aired through the facilities of Kidlat Balita TV Online. And of course, through my program, Transparency TV. Now, to some of our friends who are viewing, you might wonder why people supports different presidential aspirants. Now, Ping Lacson is one of those that is being supported by many sectors of society, especially the business sector. Now, our first guest to expound on the campaign of Senator Ping Lacson as a presidential aspirant is attorney Joshua Ablong, a Human Resource Officer of Silliman University. He will talk about why people should choose Senator Ping Lacson as president, not other presidential aspirants. Tell us your views on this, attorney.
We believe that people should vote for Ping Lacson for the following reasons. First, there is really a need to change the way our government is being run. Our government, whether we want to accept it or not, or believe it or not, is really riddled with corruption and inefficiency. And there is only one person who really has walked the talk when it comes to good governance and when it comes to running after corrupt officials, and that is Senator Panfilo Lacson. If you look at his history as a legislator, he is the only one among many who has consistently refused to get any pork barrel allocation. That speaks a lot about his character and his integrity as a public official. And we believe that we need that kind of leader. Our government has been riddled with the same problems for decades, and I believe that this is the best opportunity for the Filipino people to choose the right candidate, and that right candidate is Senator Panfilo Lacson. The other reason why people should vote for Senator Ping is his professionalism, and he has shown that many times as PNP chief, as a police officer, and as a legislator. He comes to work on time, he is never absent, and he fulfills his word. It shows a lot, it speaks a lot about his professionalism as a legislator and as a public servant. The third reason that perhaps people should consider in voting for Senator Ping is his patriotism. He has a very strong stance when it comes to asserting our claims in the West Philippine Sea. This issue is of utmost importance to the people, and prior to this election period, many of our politicians have been lukewarm on the West Philippine Sea. But it was Senator Panfilo Lacson who made a very strong stance in asserting our claims in the West Philippine Sea, and it shows his love and patriotism and his uncompromising attitude when it comes to asserting our sovereignty over those areas or that area of our country. And so I believe people should vote. We believe that people should vote for Ping Lacson because this is perhaps the only opportunity for us to actually make real and substantive changes in government. Thank you, sir.
Now we shift to people in planning. No, I understand people would like to know the acceptability of Senator Ping Lacson in Dumaguete City and the whole province of Negros Oriental. May I ask Professor John Credo to say something about this?
Yes, to our viewers, no, insofar as Senator Ping Lacson is concerned, his acceptability in Dumaguete City is quite high, and that is evidenced by his recent visit in the city when we held the consultative meeting with various sectors in Dumaguete City. For one, I can tell you, wala kaming binayaran. We invited the people. It was simply based on invitation. We invited them to come to listen to Senator Lacson, to listen to what he has to say insofar as his platform of government. And there was this overwhelming acceptance on the part of the people of Dumaguete City. We were also even informed by Manila headquarters that because it was beamed live over Facebook, marami din. No? The figures were astounding insofar as the views on Facebook in the online kumustahan are concerned. So acceptability-wise, many people embrace Senator Lacson here, especially that Dumaguete City is known as, it's an education hub. We have how many universities here? We have, I think, 4 universities, 3 private and 1 state university. So a lot of people, when I say it's a university hub, it's an education hub, a lot of people in Dumaguete City are thinking voters, not only in Dumaguete City, but if you look at the figures, Negros Oriental, I was sharing this to members of our core group in the planning session we had last Saturday. If you look at the figures in Negros Oriental through the years, the literacy rate in Negros Oriental has always been in an increasing trend. And it has reached its highest so far. We're around 95% literacy rate. So we have a very large population, not only in the city but in the province, that are educated. People, voters who think, who weigh things, no? Who are critical thinkers. So, I mean, if voters think, then I don't see any reason why they should vote for anyone else except for Senator Lacson, because he is really the best choice. Sabi ni Joshua, and I just would like to hit the nail, dagdagan ko lang ng diin, this is our only chance. This might not happen again. Perhaps if we would be given the chance to elect a leader like Ping Lacson, it probably would be in the next 100 years. So this is our only chance as a people. So let's grab this opportunity and let's be on the right side of history. Yun lang ang masasabi ko.
Possibly we will touch on survey and so many people are very adamant to accept the fact that some presidential aspirants are having so much high in percentage of acceptability as far as surveys are concerned. But I would like to ask our political scientist or political strategist to say something about this survey, because people are, doesn't believe in survey so much, Others believe it also, but more on survey. We'll talk about it because, people are being deceived, So tell us if you believe in survey and what can survey do, to really affect the true sentiments of the people in voting the right candidates.
First, allow me to just say, as a political science teacher, there's a science behind surveys. Do I believe in surveys? Yes. When the first surveys came out in September, when Pulse Asia released their first survey, when this was before the so many changes that happened, Duterte declaring that he would run for vice president and then eventually sliding down to senator. This was before. Pulse Asia released the results. SWS released the result, and there's one other credible survey firm in Manila, DG Voice, whose political analyst happens to be my professor in De La Salle University, si Dr. Contreras. What is important to know is the result of the three surveys by Pulse Asia, Social Weather Station, and DG Voice triangulated. Meaning to say, nag-coincide ang results nila. So, if only surveys are done correctly, and I believe Pulse Asia, SWS, and DG Voice conducted their surveys correctly, it really speaks a lot about ano yung sentimiento ng mga tao. So, ano yung sentimiento? Well, Senator Ping Lacson is behind the surveys. Now, people are saying, and we have discussed this earlier, gusto namin si Ping, but huli siya sa survey. So hindi siya mananalo, so we're not voting for him, which is to me a very wrong idea, a very wrong way of thinking. Because, again, surveys, while they may be very realistic, they represent the sentiment of the people, but they're also contextual. What do I mean when I say contextual, sir? Meaning, that is the sentiment at that particular moment nung tinanong sila, because when you listen to a field enumerator of SWS ask the question, ganito ang pagkakatanong: kung ngayon ang eleksyon, sino ang iboboto mo? Meaning, kung ngayon ang eleksyon. But the elections are not now. Elections are how many months away, and a lot will still happen. Now, for example, I'll just cite one thing, yung survey ng Pulse Asia, yung first week of December survey ng Pulse Asia. BBM is clearly ahead. They're saying that based on the survey, more than half of the people of the Philippines, especially in the Visayas, in NCR, and in Mindanao, will be voting for BBM. Ping Lacson is just, I think, fourth in the rankings. That is what the survey says. But what is significant about the survey also of SWS is this. Ang mga tao, tinanong, who is going to be your second choice? Okay, so their first choice is BBM, clearly, majority. Who is your second choice? Ang sabi nila, ang second choice nila is between Ping and Isko. Now, what is significant about that? What's significant is the fact that BBM is facing disqualification petitions in the COMELEC. So, kung ma-disqualify si BBM, in the event na ma-disqualify siya, what the survey data is telling us is, it's going to be an Isko Moreno, Ping Lacson race to the finish. Lenny Robredo will simply come third. But again, that is what the survey says at that particular moment. So definitely, yung kampo ni Lenny will do a lot of homework, para malampasan si Isko at si Ping. Pero si Ping, I can assure you, hindi naman matutulog. Hindi matutulog si Ping. Hindi kami matutulog dito. We're also going to do our effort to convince as many people as possible that si Ping Lacson talaga ang dapat nating iboto. Okay? So that is what, yes sir.
Excuse me, John. Can surveys be manipulated?
Well, sir, ganito, no? I would not want to use the term manipulated, but surveys can be done incorrectly. Incorrectly. I don't want to use the term manipulated. It can be done incorrectly. I will give you I'll give you an example. There is one survey that came out a few weeks ago. Sabi nila, it was nationwide, and sabi nila they had 2,000 respondents. Okay, that's quite high. Malaki yan because SWS Pulse Asia, normally they only have 1,200 respondents. Nationwide yan. Okay? Systematic ang pagkakapili. Okay, very reliable. There's a science, again, in choosing the respondent. Now, 2,000 respondents, but that is what we are told. That is the number of respondents. We are not told how many did not answer. Okay? So, there's a lot of difference. They might have asked 5,000, but only 2,000 answered. Okay? So, it might not be truly reflective of the real sentiment on the ground. Another survey I would like to cite, the survey conducted focused on Twitter, Facebook, and other online platforms. The next question that you need to ask is this: ilan bang mga tao ang may Twitter? Ilan bang mga tao ang may Facebook? Ilan bang mga tao ang may online access? Sa buong Pilipinas, ilan? And so, that raises a question because ang unang-unang itatanong ko diyan, is the survey truly reflective of the sentiment considering na hindi lahat may Facebook, hindi lahat may Twitter. So again, a point of caution, I do not want to use the term manipulated, but it can be done wrongly. Okay.
Having taught social research for quite some time already, being a sociology teacher, there is such a notion we call politics behind research. What that means is it can be influenced depending on who's funding the surveys or who's funding the research. That in itself can also be a triggering factor why researches and surveys like this can likewise reveal misleading information.
In relation to surveys, while there is a lot of credibility in surveys if they are done correctly, as pointed out by Professor Credo, I think as a people, if we really want serious and substantial changes in government, we really have to change the way we vote. Kasi tayo mga Pilipino, may tendency tayo na mag-bandwagon mentality. Kung nasaan yung marami, doon tayo pupunta. But that has always been the case. That has always been the way how we voted. But has it really worked for us? We voted for popular presidents in the past. How many popular presidents did we vote? Did it result in serious and substantial changes for our country? It is about time that we really vote based on what we think or who we think is right for the office instead of voting on sino yung popular. Kasi may ano yan eh, I think may ego mentality yan eh. I have to vote for the popular candidate, parang manalo rin ako. Parang yung manok ko ang manalo. Pero it's about time that we change that mentality. It's about time that we mature as an electorate and really vote for somebody who is qualified and who really has a heart for service for the Filipino people and who has demonstrated that heart by their performance in government. So, yun lang ang pakiusap ko sa lahat ng mga viewers natin.
Majority of our viewers expect so much money from our candidates. No? I beg to disagree with some of the ideas of many politicians. But reality, people tend to vote for a particular candidate because he has lots of money to offer. No? The Commission on Elections has not done their part to abolish vote buying. As of now, we have not heard any candidate who was suspended or have been prosecuted because of vote buying. So it's high time that the COMELEC should do something about this problem in our political system. Now, Senator Ping Lacson has been known as a disciplinarian, a good track record as a former chief of the Philippine National Police, and at the same time as a lawmaker. No? We have with us on transparency a person who is a living witness to the performance of Senator Ping Lacson as far as kidnapping case is concerned. He can talk to us about it and listen to him. No? We have Mr. Ryan Oy, the former Executive Vice President of the Philippine Airlines, to talk about this achievement of Senator Ping Lacson.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. In behalf of the family of my wife, the Lee family, I would like to share with you the real-life testimony of the family. So back in 1989, when our beloved Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson was the head of Metro Discom in Cebu, my brother-in-law was kidnapped. It was a very difficult experience for the family. How many nights they were not able to sleep. They were being tormented by the kidnappers, asking for a huge ransom amount. Fortunately, Panfilo Ping Lacson was the head of Metro Discom, so the first thing they did was to approach him and ask for his help. All throughout the ordeal, day and night, Panfilo Ping Lacson was there with the family. And he found a way to rescue my brother-in-law. So now my brother-in-law is already 36 years old. He is already a very successful businessman in Cebu. He continues to give very good inspiration to my in-laws. And back in that incident, when the family was, trying to show gratitude to Senator Ping Lacson, they tried to give him some reward money, right? It's a custom, It's a customary character or behavior of us, Filipino. Mahilig po tayo magtanaw ng utang na loob. So the family tried to give him some reward. He politely refused because he's just doing his job. But the family insisted again that they should really give something to him as a show of gratitude, or else it will be a bad luck to the family. So ultimately, he agreed and he said, okay, just give 1 peso. 1 peso to each one of them. Just to fulfill your belief, customs, na para hindi malasin, kailangan may ibigay. So, 1 peso for each. The family felt it's still not enough. They really wanted to help, no? And guess what? What Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson proposed was, in order to help his team fight crime, he suggested that why don't you just, help the team and donate some radio, which can easily be used for fighting criminality. So from our side, as a family, we are very grateful to Senator Ping. Since 1989, um, our family's path crossed with Senator Ping. And since then until now, if you will just take time to recall, ano na po ba yung mga nagawa ni Senator Ping? I think it's too many to mention. But as I grow up, I do observe the track record of Senator Ping. When he was the head of PNP, you know, this is very close to our heart, especially me who resided in Manila. He disciplined the ranks of the police, no? The cotton caps, even the fat police, as simple as those police that are heavyweight. He really disciplined them and told them to be back in shape. It's a simple testimony that if you have a very good leader who instilled discipline among his ranks, that department or that team will function well. So if you're able to prove your record in small things, in medium things, and in big things, and consistently you are able to deliver results, there's no question. Now, we don't have anything against other candidates, no? I think they have their own good sides. They have a lot of promises. They have a lot of, campaign slogans that they would say. What we can say lang is whenever we choose someone, or even if we choose something, we always choose the one that we know already delivered the desired results. Hindi lang basta result. Kasi ang bilis magpakita ng results eh. Ang question is, tama ba yung result? Tama ba yung pamamaraan para makuha yung resulta? Sinunod ba ang tamang paraan? Nirespeto ba ang pagkatao or ang proseso bago nakuha yung resulta? Kasi madaling kumuha ng resulta, madami namang shortcut dyan, madami namang pwedeng gawing paraan para makuha yung gustong results. Ang question is, tama po ba? So kami po, bilang tanaw ng utang na loob po kay Senator Ping or our future President Panfilo Ping, we are really fully supportive of his candidacy because we know that he will deliver the right results for the country. And we are not expecting anything in return because we already know that what is right, what is wrong, white or black. No such thing as, bahala na si Batman, pikit mata na lang, bahala na ganyan. Yan ang kagandahan kay Senator Ping eh. Hindi mo maaasahan na makakaabuso ka. Okay? So we are also ready that, when Senator Ping becomes the president, every one of us will follow the rule of law, will follow the rules, will follow the policy. Because discipline is a very simple word. But once we have it and we implement it across the country, I think Philippines will be placed back where it should belong. Now, going back to the survey na napag-usapan po kanina, no? All my friends, families and friends, they always tell me, no question, Panfilo Ping Lacson is good. Proven track record. They have nothing to say against Panfilo Ping Lacson. Walang allegation ng corruption, walang kalokohan eh. Ang palagi lang nilang sagot is, okay si Ping, kaso hindi mananalo yan. Yan ang typical na reaction ng tao pag naniniwala sila sa survey, right? I'm not trying to say the survey are wrong or bad, but believe it or not, those are just 50 feedbacks from my friends and relatives all over the country. And that's just me alone. So I told them, if you just vote what is right, okay, disregard the survey, just vote what is right. Maybe we will achieve what we want to achieve, and that is to fix the country. Because if you will not do what is right, I will tell you, you better stop complaining that this guy, this of politician, this department is not doing what is right. Because you yourself did not do what is right. So it should start from you. It should start from all of us. We vote what we think is right. And we don't vote what we think will win. Because if that will be the mentality, saan na lang po tayo pupulutin? 'Di ba? Masarap yung feeling na yung kandidato natin nanalo. Ang tanong ko, nanalo ka nga ba talaga? Or nanalo lang ang resulta pero talo ka for the next 6 years? So mas magandang manalo ka para sa kinabukasan mo, para sa anak mo. Yan ang totoong panalo. Ang bumoto ng tama para manalo po kayo at yung mga anak nyo at yung kinabukasan nating lahat.
So that was the impressive statements from Mr. Ryan Uy, a friend and supporter of presidential aspirant Panfilo Ping Lacson. Now, many people would ask, what are the priorities of Ping if ever he gets elected as President of the Republic of the Philippines? May I request Attorney Joshua Ablong to say something about this?
Talking about priorities, there are a lot on Senator Panfilo Lacson's agenda, but foremost of which is really on battling corruption. You know, corruption may just be one word, but it's actually the root causes of many ills in our society, because corruption eats up a lot from our treasury, which would have been used for basic services, which would have been used for healthcare, which would have been used for livelihood programs, which would have been used for education, used for our defense as a country, used for law enforcement. But because of corruption, a lot of services that government would have been able to provide are minimized. Instead of being able to fully serve our people, they are being minimized to a level that do not really address many of certain concerns and services that our people should have gotten. So, battling corruption would definitely be one of the major priorities of Senator Ping. And he has walked the talk when it comes to corruption. Number one, he has, as I stated before, he has consistently refused receiving pork barrel allocations. Ano ba yung pork barrel? Pork barrel is a budget that they place in the General Appropriations Act for each and every legislator para magamit yan for, you know, certain projects of the congressman or senator. But we all know that can also be a source of corruption, and malaki ang mga budget na ina-allocate dyan. Only Senator Ping has consistently refused that. Now, other things that would demonstrate Senator Ping's sincere fight against corruption. He has been a very staunch advocate for the anti-money laundering law, for instance. Kasi money laundering, a lot can be, sources, revenues from crime and even from corruption are actually hidden by way of money laundering. He has been a staunch advocate against money laundering. That's why meron tayong anti-money laundering law. He is also a staunch advocate against red tape. Kasi itong red tape maraming problema dyan. If you add more tables or more levels in processing certain documents, every level may under the table yan. And he is one of those who really pushed for this anti-red tape law. So going back to the question, fighting corruption would definitely be one of the major agenda or programs of Senator Ping if he ever gets elected.
You are viewing Transparency TV with our main topic of discussion, friends and supporters of presidential aspirant Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. Now, we also would like to share with you some inputs regarding Ping Lacson's candidacy from Professor John Credo. No, John, may additional comments.
Yes, gusto ko lang bigyang diin yung sinabi ni Attorney Ablong on corruption. No? Many people think that corruption happens because people are poor. Mahirap kasi yung tao, so yung mga nasa gobyerno, so kaya sila corrupt. But how many presidents have raised the pay? Ngayon, tinaasan na ni Duterte. Maraming mga opisyal sa gobyerno, mga trabahador sa gobyerno, tinaasan na, pero nandun pa rin yung korupsyon. So, hindi yan sagot. Hindi sagot yung sasabihin nating mahirap kasi ang mga maliit lang ang sahod, kaya corrupt ang mga tao. Kung titingnan nyo, sir, if you try to look at it, yung the platform ni Senator Ping, yung tagline ni Senator Ping Lacson, aayusin ng gobyerno, pinag-isipan talaga. And this is a mark of a leader who is really seasoned, who is really fit to become leader. Aayusin ng gobyerno. Alam mo kung bakit nasabi kong pinag-isipan? Because if you read the literature, if you study the researches that have been done, corruption, the reason for corruption is simple. Simple lang ang sinasabi ng mga eksperto. There is corruption because institutions are weak. Okay, internal rules are weak. That is why people are corrupt. That is why corruption perpetuates in government. Dahil weak yung institusyon. And for Senator Ping to say na aayusin niya ang gobyerno, very clear, pinag-aralan at alam na niya ang gagawin niya. That is why si former BIR Commissioner Kim Inares endorsed Senator Ping. Sabi pa niya, Senator Ping is the only presidential who will hit the ground running. Clearly, because he knows what he is going to do.
I would like to acknowledge the viewership of Rhea Paunan, no, of Manila, and of course June Ballesteros of Ping Lacson's headquarters in Bacolod City, Negros Occidental. Now additional comments from Ray Jimena. He is also a professor of Silliman University. Tell us about some of your other reactions regarding our topic, friends and supporters of presidential aspirant Ping Lacson.
Oh, I would have wanted to quit supporting a candidate,
Uh-huh.
but since Senator Ping Lacson expressed outrightly, and by far he's the first one
Uh-huh.
to publicly announce that I'm interested to run for office of the president, that got me also heated, and I was fired up, and I ended up volunteering in this group. Yes, Sir Ryan was right. Senator Ping Lacson is a producer of output, but not only that, I'd like to add that he also cares for the kind of output that he was able to produce. Mind you, my friends, just in 2019, he was able to file 10 Senate bills in a row.
Mm-hmm.
For 2019 alone, that speaks of how he works fast, and he is also a hard worker. He also cares for the kind of results that's been produced by his labor as a legislator. That also speaks of his concern that the outputs really trickles down to the needs and wants of the Filipino people. Okay? Now, he is interested, and he also is he also understands the systems, the processes, and the procedures of organizational functions, the bureaucracy, the government bureaucracy, and he makes sure that these are done and followed by all members of the bureaucracy. That's why he earned the reputation of being a watchdog of people's money. All right? Because he understands, and he was able to expose the payoff system in the Bureau of Customs. He was also able to, publicly declare and delineate the the conflict of interest system in the Department of Health and also in PhilHealth. Okay? And so that speaks of his strong interest and analysis of how government should work, how its role should be performed, and how the systems and procedures should work out. Kaya nga, yung tagline at yung brand ng kanyang campaign is, ayusin ang gobyerno. And by way of a result, it will definitely trickle down to aayusin ang buhay natin. Very simple formula because he understands government bureaucracy and how it should serve for the purpose and the good of all Filipinos. And not only that po, because my concern is on sectoral organizing to generate support for Ping Lacson. He may have refused the pork barrel, but if you just realize it, he was also able to file Senate bills that would trickle down to the benefit of all the poor sector, the marginalized sector. Can you imagine? The free irrigation law for farmers. Instead of getting money from his pork barrel, he did it by way of passing a legislation, and landmark legislation, because dati yung mga farmers are enjoying the irrigation, are paying for their Farmers Irrigators Association. He made it a point na malibre yun. And that every farmer across the country should know that. Second, he was able to pass a Senate Bill 21, that enjoins local government units to actively participate in the budgeting process in government. That is by way of strengthening local government units. Second, siniguro niya in Senate Bill number 22 na people's organizations, civil society organizations are able to participate in national planning and budgeting just to prevent pork barrel. Senate Bill number 23, inaugment niya yung insurance ng mga barangay captains and other barangay officials. I mean, people in the lower strata of society should be able to realize all these Senate bills.
Okay. Now, we would like to request G. Arrieta to say a few words regarding his support of the presidential aspirant, Senator Ping Lacson. G. Arrieta, one of the supporters.
Isa lang ang masabi ko, yung corruption na mababagol talaga sa gobyerno kapag siya na ang yun lang.
But I would like to ask Professor John Credo if he has comments on the mismanagement of COVID pandemic.
Siguro, before I say anything about COVID, ito yung, just this morning, before we started with this interview, I received a text message from a friend.
Yes.
Sabi nung kaibigan ko, Sir, I just would like to ask you, you're campaigning for Senator Ping, but what can you say about the rumors circulating na Senator Ping is also behind the kidnappings? Okay, Senator Ping is also behind kidnappings, and Senator Ping is also behind several, syndicates, crime syndicates. Ang sagot ko sa kanya, simple lang. Sabi ko, have you watched the video of Colonel Victor Corpus? Have you watched the video of Colonel Cesar Mancao? Who is Cesar Mancao? Si Cesar Mancao yung police officer na dating kasamahan ni Ping na bumaliktad and accused Senator Lacson of being behind the Dacer Corbito double murder. Yung fiasco na yon, no? And then you have Victor Corpus, who was the intelligence officer, I think if my memory serves me correctly, ISAF, during the time of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who linked Senator Lacson to a lot of criminal groups and to a lot of anomaly. Anong ginawa nila? Anong video? Anong sabi ng video? Humingi sila ng paumanhin. They apologized to Senator Lacson because according to Victor Corpus, he was fed with the wrong intelligence report. Okay? He was just used. Si Mancao naman admitted and apologized to Senator Ping because he was also just used by Senator Ping's political opponents during that time. So, yun ang masasabi natin. No? Mga taong naniniwala na Senator Lacson is also behind the kidnappings. How can he be behind the kidnappings when he did not even encourage, and Ryan is here, when he did not even encourage the families to pay ransom? Okay? And how can he be behind the kidnappings? We did not even accept a single centavo from the families who gave him reward money. So, stupid yung mga allegations na ganyan. Hindi dapat paniwalaan. Now, going back to your question, sir, pandemic, I think si Senator Ping, klarong-klaro ang position niya. Yung gagawin nila, total revamp, babaguhin yung sistema, the way we have been responding, and he has been very, very vocal and critical about this. Government has not been responding well. The response has not been very good. Insofar, very satisfactory insofar as this present government is concerned sa pandemic. So, yun ang i-correct ni Senator Ping. Simple lang, ayusin natin ang gobyerno. Ayusin natin ang mga sistema, the way we have been doing things. Strengthening our institutions. Again, babalik ako sa sinabi ko kanina. Corruption is never about poverty. Okay? Yun ang sinasabi ng mga tao. But what is the research telling us? The research is telling us that corruption is because of weak systems. Weak institutions. And that is what Senator Ping Lacson is bound to fix. Aayusin ang gobyerno.
Ang atong nga parting message from Ray Jimena. Ray.
Just a rejoinder po kayo yung sinabi ni Professor Credo about pandemic and probably all other social problems as well. I believe, and he has been known to be a very analytical and a very methodical kind of person. Siguro because he is comes from the military sector. That's expected from him. Kaya nga siguro, kinuha siya, inappoint siya ni the late President Noynoy Aquino as the Presidential Assistant for Recovery and Rehabilitation. And I am very confident na itong problema sa pandemic ay kayang-kaya niya, as the way he also performed with the Yolanda victims also.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. No?
Yeah, ito lang po ang masasabi ko. This may be our only opportunity to really cleanse government, change government, and therefore change our lives. Kasi sometimes people, when people say government is the solution, government can also be the problem. And so if government is the problem, then we have to change government. And we have to put in place people who we think is right based on what they have demonstrated, people who can deliver what they have promised in changing government. And we can see that in Senator Ping. So I hope that we will all give him the chance to lead us in the next 6 years so that we can really accomplish what we as a people have been longing for. We have been longing for a change in government, but we have repeatedly voted for the wrong people in office. It is about time we put the right people into office, and we believe Senator Ping is the right person for that.
Okay, thank you so much. No? Ang aton nga parting shots from Mr. Ryan Uy.
Again, basing it on our own experience, naniniwala po kami sa track record, sa resultang nagawa na po ni Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. 6 years pang pag-uusapan natin dito. 6 years is not a joke. We cannot go for trial and error. It's within our control. The choice is ours. We do what is right. And we should not just ride on the bandwagon or go with the survey results. No. Again, in anything that you do and we do, we always look for ano ba yung nagawa na ng isang tao na to. Hindi lang puro pangako, but may resulta po. At hindi lang basta resulta, tamang resulta po. Salamat.
That ends our special presentation. Friends and supporters of presidential aspirant Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. Our words of wisdom: be with a leader when he is right. Stay with him when he is still right, but leave him when he is wrong. Ang inyong alagad, Mike Maghari, nagasaying, thank you so much. Mabuhay ang Pilipino.